What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Ryan Pineda Show, where we talk all things money, real estate, and entrepreneurship. And for today's video, I want to give you my top 3 keys that help me take $10,000 and turn it into $1 million in just 3 years. All right, that was a big mouthful, so let me repeat that so that we're all on the same page. Back in 2015, when I first started flipping houses, I had $10,000 in the bank. And just 3 years later, I had built it to $1 million in net worth. And during that time, there was a lot of things I did that helped me really accelerate my wealth. And I want to give you the top 3 keys that I learned during that time. Now, I'm not saying that those keys will for sure make you a millionaire in 3 years, no matter what. To turn 10,000 into $1 million in just 3 years is extremely difficult. Obviously, it's possible, but even if it takes you 5 years or 7 years, that is an amazing accomplishment to become a millionaire from pretty much nothing. So I believe these 3 keys are the most important thing, no matter what your time frame ends up being. But before we get into those 3 keys, do me a big favor and go and hit that like button. And if you haven't already, make sure you go and subscribe to my channel. All right, let's get into it. Now, before we jump into the 3 keys, I wanna kind of set some expectations. And this isn't really a key, but it is something that you better be willing to do. And that is take a risk. I see so many people, every time I talk about house flipping or hard money loans or how I did it, maxing out credit cards, they say,
"That is so risky. I would never do that. You're crazy."
And look, I'm not saying you gotta be as risky as me, but you are going to have to take some type of risk to do this. There is absolutely no way you can turn 10,000 into $1 million really quick playing it safe. It just ain't gonna happen. So if you're not willing to take a risk, you can definitely become a millionaire. It's just gonna take you more time. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the 3 keys. All right, key number 1, I had mastered a major money-making skill. Now, the reason I had major is you're gonna have to be able to create a lot of income to accelerate your wealth really quick. There's just no way around it. For me, that was through flipping houses. I knew that if I could flip a house and make 20 grand here, 30 grand there, that's a major way of making money. Before that, I was a realtor, I was flipping couches, I was even substitute teaching. And though those paid the bills, they weren't major wealth creators. Not for me, at least. I needed to find a skill that could make major money fast. Buying rentals is great, but it does not make you income very fast. So that's why when a lot of people say, oh, I wanna buy rentals starting out and gain financial freedom, I say, that is awesome, you can do that, but you're not gonna become a millionaire quick. You're gonna become a millionaire over time. You're gonna have to figure out how can you accelerate your wealth and start making big money with your active income. And that's why I'm a firm believer in house flipping, because I believe that anyone can get into house flipping. You can even do this through wholesaling as well. Heck, if you're even a beast realtor, you could make a lot of money doing that, and that can be your major income. I don't really care what it is, but for me, the way that I would define major income would be anything that makes me over 250 grand a year. If you're not doing a skill that makes you over 250 grand a year, then you haven't found it yet. As I said before, you can do totally fine making 50 to 100 grand a year, but it's gonna take you time to become a millionaire. If you wanna make it quick, you need a major money making skill. And the other part of that too is you have to master it. So many people wanna jump in all these different things. I see guys that wanna go into house flipping, guys that wanna go into e-com, guys that wanna get into Forex, and I'm like, dude, I don't care which one you get into. Just figure out one that is gonna make you a lot of money. Don't be dipping your toes into all of these things and being mediocre at all of them. Master one of them. I still don't know how to trade Forex. I still don't know how to do Amazon e-com. And I don't really care, because I've mastered how to make a lot of money in one thing. Think about this. Do you think LeBron cares about trying to go play in the NFL or go play baseball? No, he's mastered his one skill of playing basketball, and it has made him extremely wealthy. And it allows him to do all of these other things because he mastered his one skill. So go figure out what is your major money making skill. All right, the second key is understand the velocity of money. For those of you who don't know, velocity of money is how quickly your money keeps moving. There's a reason I like flipping. It's because I can go put money down on a flip, and I know that 4 to 5 months from now, I'm gonna get all that money back, and I can reinvest it into the next flip. Let me just give you an example. Let's just say I have $40,000. I go use that $40,000 as a down payment. I put it on one flip. 4 months later, that flip makes $30,000. Now I get that $30,000 plus my original $40,000 back. Now I have $70,000. I find another deal, I go and put it on the next flip. Now this time, I've got $70,000 to work with, so now I can go buy 2 deals. I go put 35,000 on one deal, I go put 35,000 on another deal, and let's just say those flips make 25 grand a piece. So now in deal number one, I've got my 35,000 that I put into it, plus 25,000 from the profit. That gives me 60,000 back from that deal. And then I sell my other flip as well, and I get the same thing, 60,000 back. Now I have 120,000, and it's only been 8 months during the year. I go take that 120,000, and now I go on 3 properties. I put 40,000 down on each property. Same scenario, each property makes $25,000 profit. I sell them all, and I get 65,000 back from each property. Now the total amount of money I have is $195,000. And this is in a 12-month period, and if you remember, I only had $40,000 when I started out. So that $40,000 almost had a 500% return in 1 year. Think about that. Where else can you get a 500% return? You can't, but you can do it through flipping houses. I just showed you. And in fact, that's exactly what I did. I literally kept turning my money over and over again. It didn't happen perfectly like that. Not every house sold in 4 months. Not every house sold at the exact same time. That was just a general concept of how the velocity of money works. Now let's think about it from the perspective of the guy who wants to buy a rental. So I start with $40,000 and I go buy a rental property with it and I put all of it down. Now I have this rental property that makes me $300 a month, but my money is stuck. I can't get it out and I'm making $300 a month. At the end of the year, I have $3,600. My $40,000 is still stuck. What do? I don't know. And that's why I never bought rentals starting out. Yes, I could refinance and get my money back out, but I didn't even qualify for a loan. I couldn't qualify to refinance a property even if I wanted to. And I knew the power of the velocity of money, and I knew that that $40,000 could turn into almost $200,000 if I did everything right. And I also knew that if I bought a rental, my money was stuck and I wasn't gonna make nearly as much. Now, I am not against rentals. I am against rentals when you're starting out because of this velocity of money. Here's my philosophy. Once you've built up a big cash position, start buying rentals then, because now your house flipping business won't be impacted. You still have money to go buy the flips you want to buy. Plus, you'll be able to park money in a rental here, park money in a rental there, but you're still constantly making this active income from your major money activities. Does that make sense? It all kind of comes together when you do it right. So the moral of the story is, do not park your money in anything. You must keep your money moving. Even if you take Amazon e-commerce, for instance, it is keeping the money moving. You're buying product, you're selling product, you're constantly getting the money back, you're taking profit off the table. You can't take profit off the table with rentals quickly. You can do it through a refinance down the road, but as far as real estate goes, flipping and wholesaling are the only way to start getting cash back really quick. You could also be a realtor, but I'm talking about the investing side. So keep your money moving, people. All right, let's get into the third key. And the third key is a very simple thing that many people have heard 1,000 times, yet they still don't do it. And I want to make this very, very clear for you that it is so important. Do not overlook this step. My third key is to live below your means. I told you, you've definitely heard that before, right? If you do steps 1 and 2, you're gonna be making a lot of money. You've already figured out this money-making skill that makes you over 250 grand a year. You're finding investments to keep your money moving. You're gonna be generating wealth really quick. So what happens when you make a lot of money really quick? Well, most people go and up their lifestyles. They go buy a Tesla. Wait, I did that. Wait, no, I'm talking about me. But I didn't buy a Tesla till 6 years down the road. When you are first starting out, you have to live way below your means. If you're making all this money and you just spend it the second you get it because you're making so much, you are gonna get nowhere. Your net worth is not gonna increase. Yes, your lifestyle will be nicer, but you're not gonna get to your goal of being a millionaire. So you must live below your means, and it becomes much more difficult when you're making a lot of money. And here's the thing, I see a lot of poor people say,
oh man, if I was making so much money, I would be totally fine. I'd be saving up all this money.
And I'm like, yeah, right, there's a reason you're poor, because you don't know how to manage money. You look at poor people when they hit the lottery, they end up going broke down the road because they don't know how to manage money. Athletes are the same way. So many of them go bankrupt because they don't know how to manage money. So do not make the mistake of once you start making money, think that it's going to continue and you're gonna keep making more and more. You must live below your means. I remember when I was first starting out, I had a 2004 Toyota Tundra. It had over 100,000 miles on it, and even though I had made a few $100,000 flipping houses, I still drove it. 2016 was the first year I made over $200,000. And my wife and I still were frugal. We weren't going on luxury vacations. We weren't eating out every day. We weren't buying the Louis Vuitton and new cars and all this other stuff. We lived well below our means. Even in 2017, when we jumped our income to $750,000, we did not change our spending habits at all. We were still driving used cars, still living in the same house, still not going on luxury vacations. We didn't have designer stuff. It was the same lifestyle. And maintaining that same lifestyle those first 3 years are the reason that I was able to become a millionaire. It's hard enough to go master a skill to make a lot of money, but it's even harder to keep that money. It's so easy to spend more money when you start making a lot more money. You take it for granted. And all I can say is you cannot forget the discipline and the things that got you to this moment. You must live well below your means. And I'll tell you, even today, now that it's been over 6 years and I'm a multimillionaire at this point, I still live well below my means. Because I'm not satisfied with where I'm at today. I know that if I want to grow my wealth exponentially, I still need to take the same principles. I need to get better at making more money and producing more revenue. I need to get better at moving my money more. And I still need to maintain a lifestyle that's far below my means. That doesn't mean my lifestyle hasn't gotten better. I just showed you, I just bought the Tesla. We live in a beautiful home. We do a lot of amazing things. We've had a lot of amazing experiences, and I'm totally happy with how we spend our money and the lifestyle we live. But we could live a way crazier lifestyle if we really wanted to. But I value the future far more than I value living a crazy lifestyle today, because I know that's what got me here. So in conclusion, remember those 3 things. Master a major money-making skill, understand the velocity of money, and live below your means. And if you want the bonus key, be willing to take a risk. You're never gonna get anywhere unless you start taking risk. I hope this inspires you guys. I hope that you guys apply these lessons. If you like this video, do me a big favor. Make sure you go and hit that like button. If you haven't already, make sure you go subscribe to my channel so you can get all the content. Hit that little bell notification if you feel like it. And as always, make sure you follow me on all my social media channels. I'm active on there daily. I'd love to interact with you guys, and I appreciate you for watching this. Take care.